slicer. From here, you're going to insert. Under insert, you click on slicer. When you click on the slicer, you will have all the topics listed for you. You see that one? Now, it depends with which field you want to do a filtering. So in this case, you can do a filtering with one field or with two fields. Let's start with one. I click on region. Then I say OK. You see what comes up? It groups them into the unique names in the field. So the unique ones are central, east, and west. Okay. So now I want to do a filter for central. I click on central, and the filter takes place. East, west, just like that. Is that part clear? So now if I want to remove the filtering, I just click on that remove filter and it's removed. Are we together? Okay. Now if you want to do for two, for instance, central and item, all you do is that you just click in the table, go back to insert, then slicer again. Then you can come here and say, okay, I want to do a filter for item. I click on item, I say okay. Alright? So now what you have, you've got two filters there. So you two slicers. So you can do for central. If you want them to be central and they should be pencil, you click there. So you have done a two-way filter. This one is fast, right? And simple, right? Okay. So that's how you do it. Up to this point, is there any question? So this one, you can change the colors if you want by coming to that on top there. Okay. Those are the nitty-gritties. I think if you know it, these are not a problem on top there. Alright? Okay. Now that we're done with slicers, let's go to pivot tables. Please stop me wherever you have not understood. Okay? And now I'm going to be in a closing mode, but where you have not understood, kindly stop me. Now, what do pivot tables do? Pivot tables allow us to do a quick analysis of data in an easier way, because it creates like it's a table, but makes it easier for you how you'll be able to see the relationship between two variables. Okay, you can even make them 3 variables, 4 variables. Okay, you don't necessarily to write. Okay, the video will be given. Okay, so now when you have done that, you've got this table, and for you to perform a pivot table, make sure that your data is a table. Okay, because when you are updating your data, tables automatically update. Okay, so when I come down here to enter another one, it will automatically update. Okay, all right. So now what we're going to do is this: we go to insert, then we say pivot tables. Okay, make sure you have clicked in the pivot table, right? So when you have clicked in the pivot table, you go and say insert pivot table. When you come back here, this pop-up will show up. Now this pop-up is telling you what name do you want to give to this table. You can give it a special name if you want. If you want, you can change. You can even say I want to pick data from an external source, which means it's not from Excel. Then down here, it tells you the pivot table. Where do you want it to be put? Is it on a new sheet or on already existing sheet? An existing sheet is this same sheet. Okay? So let's put it on existing sheet so you can see how the changes are happening. So I click on existing sheet. Where do I want the pivot table to start from? I just click there and then I say, okay, I want it to be here. Okay? I click and drag. Then I click there. It has picked up the location, right? Then I say okay. Alright. When I say okay, what is here doesn't make much sense. Don't focus on that. I want you to focus here. Alright. Now, when you look at a table has got rows and columns, right? Okay, so we want to weigh our data like this. I want to find out how many people are in Central Province, and I want to find out people who are in Central Province, and I want to check who in Central Province is there. Then I want to check also the units they have. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just to pick region, put it in rows. You see what has happened? Okay. Then I'll pick first name. These are the people we're dealing with, and I'll drop it in columns. So you see that your data has been lined up like that. So now on the middle here, I want to have the units. This should be the relationship holding, or the values which is supposed to hold these two together. Okay, I put there. Okay, now let's take a minute to look at the values. Let me close this. Okay, when I come here and saying in Central, the person who's in Central is Andrew, and they have got 75 units. Okay, that is the sum of units they have, and they are from Central. Okay, if we come here, we can check Central. Where is Andrew? Andrew is here, and he's got 75 units. Okay, then we check for another one, Gil. It's the same thing. It's in Central, and has got 27 units. Now let us look at Jardine. Jardine is here and is also found there. Okay. So what happens? He has got 90 there and he has got 36 there. So if you come there, you find he has got 126. Why? Because it is summing up his units. Okay. And because it's found in Central. Have you seen? So what is the total, grand total, which is found in Central? You come here, you come there. That's the grand total for Central. So already you know that in Central, the units which are there are 278. And you know per individual how many units they have. Okay? Then when you come here, below here, you find the grand total for each person. Okay? At this point, does this make sense? Is there any question at this point? Will you have to create a pivot? Okay. Where is the question in there? I'll do this. I click there and I say insert pivot table here. It's okay. All right. Okay, so we have done that, but now it gets even more interesting. Have you seen that this is a count, a sum that is doing? But there are cases that you would want to say, count the number of people that are in Central. You're not counting the units, but you're counting like the number of people. They treat each unit as one. Let me show you. When I come here, under values here, this is values, right? These are values, right? I right click. Then I say summarize value by count. In Central, Andrew had only one count of units, right? Because it only appeared once. We're not counting like summing up now. Then Jardine had 2. Remember, he appeared twice. So the count becomes 2. Sum is different from count, right? Yeah. So now you have got 2 there. So the total counts which were there in Central were 5. Then East 2. then west 1. In total, everything in total was 8. Count. Make sense? Now, at times, this is what you would. Somebody asks you a question to say, okay, I want you to give me the average, probably average performance for Central. Okay? This person wants the average performance for Central. They want just to see the average performance. So what I do is that I will go to analyze data or design. Okay, field list. When the size of the screen becomes small, you have challenges to find where they want. Okay. So now, what we want to do is that I want to find the average performance for the provinces only. Okay. I'm not looking at the people and everything. I just want to find for the province. What I can do is that I will remove first layer. I remove it from there, and I remain with provinces. Okay. Right now, this is the count for the provinces. Now listen, without involving the names of the people. What I can do is that I want to have the count, I want to have the sum, and I want to have the average. But they're supposed to be on the same table. How do I do that? What I do is that this same unit, I can drag it, paste it there. What I have now is sum units, right? For Central. There we go. Then I want to have average also. I can just drag the same one again, put it there. Now what you have here again is sum units, right? Okay, but this one we can change it. We can come here and say summarize by average. You can have the averages. Does it make sense? So this is on pivot table. There is more. So in other cases, you would want to do the percentage out of the total. So let's say what was the percentage allocation for each. So I bring it again in there. Then this one I can say not summarize by, but show by percentage of parent row total. Let's do that one. This one is doing for the other one. Let's do summarize by total column. Sorry? On the sum. Let me see. If I come to sum, let me try it. Summarize by parent row total. Okay. Yeah. So now you have now your percentage allocation. So out of the total is 100% right now. Then you can now be able to determine the percentage for each. So you see that which one is performing better. That is the one that is performing better. Okay. Here it refused because this one was in the format of average. So if I come here and say this one should be a sum, then here I come and change it to summarize by parent total. That's when it works out. Alright? Okay. So far, any question? Sorry? This one. This one. Just a pivot table. Okay, so what I did is this. When I click on it, I go to insert. Then I go to pivot table. You click on it, this appears. Oh, all right. So have you seen what is showing you right now? The name of the table of this one is table 8. So that's the name of the table. So right now, if you want to change where it's picking data, you can change it. Okay? This automatically Excel, when you've created a table, it gives it a name. Okay? So right now what you have, this is table 8 and it's showing you with the dancing hand. But if you want to change the table, you can come and click here, then make a different selection of the table. Probably if this is the selection of your table. Have you seen this? Then I come there and do that. Have you seen the it has changed? You've seen that? So it was showing you the range. Okay. Alright, that's on pivot tables. There is more on pivot tables. There is more. But you can still start with this and be able to explore other options. Okay? There are other times whereby you can also include the filtering. When I come here, I drop region in here. Okay? What I'm going to do is that I'll do some filtering. Okay? So when I come here, I want to filter by central. I'll have for central. When I come and say, okay, I want to do by west, I'll have for west. Okay? Alright. Oh, I didn't bring in this. Okay. Right. So in a case whereby I want to filter by names, I can come here and say, I want to filter by Jones. And I say, okay. So it filters this data using the first name. Because this is still related to that data. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. So if I come here and I say I want all of them, say okay, you still have all of them. Right. Okay, so done with the pivot tables. Let's look at some formulas. To how to insert a table? Okay. Okay. So when you want to insert a table, for instance, let me do this. Equals run. Just want to quickly create a table. Okay. Okay, so we have this table. So if I want to insert a table, I just highlight this. When I highlight that, I come here and say table. So when I click on that, I just say okay. And the table has been created. So this table was created like that. Then we did that. So those columns, these ones. This when you say column one, it's so that my data doesn't have titles. So it's created titles for me. Yes. So you can even come to the table there and make some filters. That's how you create tables. Um, this I avoided it because things like this will take much of our time to get into data analysis. But the videos that I gave you, those ones, the ones that you sent on the email, they have all this. Okay? They, they just don't worry, I'll be able to give you today before you go. Just remind me. Okay. So we have done that. Let's look at some formulas here and there. Okay. So now, what we have here, wait. Oh, okay, right. Have you scrolled up? The first thing which you're looking at is title there. So from today, we'll do a lot of formulas, small formulas. Then by next week, we'll do big formulas and see how we can be able to incorporate this. Okay? Are we there? Scroll up and scroll back. You done that? Have you seen what I'm showing you? Here, you scroll up, and this bar here down, you scroll down. Or if not, Control Shift Home. Huh? Did you? I gave you a new bar. Have you scrolled to the left? Okay. So now, I want us to look at some small formulas. Some of these formulas you might even say, but what's the relevance of these formulas? It's because they are working independent, you might not see them as relevant. But I want us to look at these formulas, understand how they work, what's their basic uh, building block, what is their format, so that when we reach to a point whereby when we want to do something big, when you are taking these to small formulas, they'll be making sense. Okay? So now what I have here is just a row with just some days. But now what I want to do is that I want to be able to count the rows. How do I count the rows? You use a formula called rows. You use the formula called rows. Okay? So when I type and it gives me a suggestion, I can just press tab to accept the suggestion. When I've accepted the suggestion, right now it's asking me, what's the array? Array is simply a list of things, right? So what is that array that you want to pick? This is the array I want to pick. I click, drag down, then I close bracket, then I press enter. Now it tells me that that array that you have selected, it has got 6 rows. Okay. Is that help? Is it clear? Equals rows. This is the formula here. Equals rows, then open bracket, close. You have to select the array in between. Mr. Thomas, Inya juga. Someone has to come for the typing class. Someone. I haven't sent anybody. Okay? So now we have done that, isn't it? Okay. So you are able now to know the number of rows by doing that. This will be very important as we go. Let's do this. Equals rows. Okay. Then tab, I accept. Let me just indicate 3 rows here. Okay. Then I close. Then I press enter. Tells me 3. So it makes a count of the rows. It makes a count of the rows. One thing which I'll ask you is that don't memorize this. Try to understand it, and if you can't remember the formula, don't worry. But just know that there is a possibility of you counting the rows. Okay? Just know that it is possible for you to count the rows. When you know that it's possible to count the rows, if you forget the formula, you can even WhatsApp me to say, what's the formula for rows? I'll give you, okay, just say equals rows. You even see the suggestion. Click on it, then it will give you instructions. And it will tell you, pick an array, you pick it, and you do that. Alright? Okay, don't memorize. There is a lot to learn to memorize. Let's deal with offset. Okay? Offset. Offset is another way you can be able to deal with this. This is how you do it. I'm saying when I pick this variable, like for instance, if I pick the best variable or like the last variable, always offset once. So which means when I offset, I'm picking the next variable, not actually the one which is being indicated. Does it make sense? So for instance, if I want to pick number 2, so I'll say, if you find the best one, offset it by 1, which means move down, pick that value which is next to it. It sounds better when you're doing it. Equals, then I say offset, for now just focus on me. I say offset. Now what is my reference? My reference is say October, okay? Comma. So now, by how many rows do I want to offset? So if I say 1, which means it will go down, which means it will look at November. If I say -1, it will go up, which means it is looking at September. So let us say -1, okay? Comma. Then the columns, how many columns do I want to offset? So I don't want the columns to be offsetted, which means I can just put 0. Then I close, then I press enter. Have you seen? Okay. Then I click on it again. Then I say, okay, I want it to be 1, not -1. I press enter. You have November. It's offsetting. Now, what if I say, where there is 2 here, there is 1 here, I want it to be -3. I have July, which means it offsets backwards and picks the third one, which is July. Now, I say it's supposed to, okay, for now, pick October and offset it so it gives you 9. Pick October, then offset it so it gives you -9. You've seen the formula now. Pick October, offset it, and it gives you 9. Good, right? Come on, how is that? Is it working? Can I steal 5 minutes? Mr. Bright, can I steal 5 minutes? Thank you. Alright. Have we done offset? We don't have a problem with offset, right? I say starting from October, then do the offset so it gives you 9. We need to be quicker than this. The places that you'll be working from, they might give you more pressure than this. And they will require you to learn things just at the first show. So you have to be quick. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you so that you do it. Alright. So I'm saying, I'm deleting that and I'm saying equals. I'm saying equals, then I say offset. When I say offset, I pick October. Then I say comma. Now my goal is to pick 9. So for me to pick 9, which means the first thing which I'm dealing with is rows, isn't it? So I need to go back up how many times? 1, 2, 3. So which means I put -3. Then I need to go to my right, isn't it? Which means columns now. Comma. How many times do I need to go to the 1? So I put 1 there. Then I close. Bam. Then I press enter. That's how I get the 9. That's how the offset works. You'll see its benefit as we go on. Alright? That is offsetting. Now, this can be done in 2 ways. Right now I'm typing in the rows and the columns. But I can just make a reference to the rows and the columns. So I make a cell reference. Okay? So for instance, where there is -3 here, I'll say I want to pick this. Sorry, that cell has been. Okay, I'll just use the bottom ones here. Where there is -3 here, I'm saying I want to pick there. I'm replacing it by this cell. Then where there is 1 here, I replace it with that cell. Okay? Then I press enter. Now, you must know that on these cells here, which I was talking about, there are no values, right? But I can put the values like -3, then negative with 1 there, isn't it? Okay, which means it is not these cells, this one down, isn't it? Okay, I copied. It was on the down. The reference was on this one, right? Not the ones on top here. So I remove this one. So these are the cells. So if I come here, I'm making reference to this cell. So if I come and I say I want to pick Tuesday, which means if I'm coming from October, it has to be -2, right? Then column is going against, right? So it becomes -1. Then I can now pick. Okay, I can now pick Tuesday. Is this clear? Have you understood cell referencing? Have you understood cell referencing? Okay. So on cell referencing, this is what I'm saying. Okay. I'll remove this so that we do a cell referencing for this one, right? So I want to refer to this cell. This cell is what? L4, isn't it? Okay, I'll type it in. Cancel. Then I will remove this. I'll say equals or set reference is this one, comma, row, which I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick a cell. In that cell, that's why I'll enter the number. Okay, so my cell will be L4, isn't it? So I put my L4 there, comma. My column will be, I'll pick it from which cell? M4, isn't it? I put M4 there. Then I close. Then I press enter. Now it's giving me October because there's nothing in the cells, right? Okay, so if I want to pick Sunday, what should I put in rows? Huh? I'm coming from October, but I want to pick Sunday. So which means what should I put in the rows? So negative 4. Then what should I put in column? Negative 1. Now clear. Isn't it? Okay, that's how offset works. Alright, let's go in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes. Why we do offset? Okay, so there are moments whereby you're saying that you've got data that you're always increasing. You're making increments of that data. So every time you have designed your formula such that it will pick the last person. And when it picks the last person, it should offset by negative 4 to always pick the fourth person. So you would always want to pick a particular person from that one who's been picked initially. So that's how usually offset works. So at times your data might be arranged in columns. Okay? But in your formula, you're only able to pick from that first column. But you can say that when I pick from this column, offset by 2 in columns, then you move 2 steps to your right to pick the actual data that you are looking for. But we'll see it as we go. Okay? Right now, just understand how offset works. Such that when we start to write those big formulas, you will not have challenges. So I think we'll leave it here.